Hey guys, it's Rob here. Today we go over a location that was technically home to the last shelf stage, that being the location in Ogden, Utah. There's more to this location that's unique as per usual, and I'm also including Murray so that there's enough to talk about. I want to go ahead and thank Wolfman_Productions for being the original requester of Murray. No one requested Ogden, I just thought it would be a cool location to go over. As usual, I've gathered information from multiple different sources, which I'll be linking in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as in the next video, we'll be going over quite the iconic location. Anyways, let's get into the history of Showbiz Pizza Place and Chuck E. Cheese in Ogden and Murray, Utah. 3155 Harrison Boulevard location, located in Ogden, Utah, opened on May 17th, 1980 as a Pizza Time Theater. This building was formerly occupied by a drugstore called Smith's Drug King. They opened with a shelf stage and had Foxy Colleen as their guest star upon opening. An article not long after the opening tells us that this was the 11th Pizza Time Theater to ever open, making it one of the first Pizza Time theaters ever, as well as the first one to open in Utah. They also had seating for 323 people, with a building size of 8,000 square feet, which is on the smaller side for these locations. The showroom also seated 200 people. It also tells us that their cabaret act at this time was Dolly Dimples. Finally, we also get the information that this was a franchise store under Rocky Mountain Development Corporation. An opening ad gives us the info that the location had over 45 games upon opening. An ad from December of 1980 tells us that the location had received Madam Oink by this point, replacing Foxy Colleen. In February of 1981, Ogden would celebrate Chuck E. Cheese's birthday, but not the brand's birthday, the character's birthday, back when you had one. This promotion would last the whole month. In May of 1981, Ogden would celebrate the first anniversary of the location by offering a coupon for a free t-shirt. We can also see in this ad that they would receive Artie Antlers soon after this, with Dolly Dimples moving to Salt Lake City. That same year, from July 28th to the 25th, they would do a Western Week promotion. By 1984, the location would receive Helen as their guest star, as every other location would. In November of 1986, between the 7th and the 8th, Ogden would celebrate Chuck E. Cheese's birthday again with an event, with things such as face painting, free balloons, and a magician. By March of 1987, the location would start delivering pizza, as can be seen by this ad. Side note, I never knew any location did this, and now I'm curious if other locations also did delivery. We have a single photo from this time, where we could see their Chuck walk around, being an earlier version of the costume. We have multiple photos from 1991 that give us a good look at the store, starting with this exterior shot, where we can see what appears to be a dark red wooden texture, with these posters out front. We can also see their sign, though we get a better look at it in the next photo, where we can see that they kept their original Pizza Time Theater sign from opening up until this point, which is very cool to see, considering most stores received a more standardized design, and also the fact that the 1986 remodel was being rolled out by this point. Another exterior shot confirms the dark red is a wooden paneling, and that these are posters. Heading inside, we can see their corridor with the counters, as well as a ride to the right. The size of the store can really be felt here with how narrow the corridor is, in comparison to other stores. There's also this corridor shot that gives us a bit of a look at the unique mural piece with Chuck on it, which is always cool to see in these franchise Pizza Time Theater locations. We then get a couple of photos of the game room area, with this one showing off games such as ice hockey, some of the skee ball machines, foosball, which I didn't know was a thing added to locations, and a hot air balloon attraction of some kind. We also can see the cabaret room in the back, as well as an entrance next to it. The second game room photo gives us a better look at the other skee ball lanes, plus more of their games. The next photo gives us a look at their showroom, where we could see Chuck, Helen, and Pasquale in different attire than they usually wear. Oddly, they don't appear to be active in this photo, which makes me wonder what was going on at this point where they weren't aired up. We can also see their flag wavers as well. We get another photo as well, which really just gives us a closer look at these spots. The next photo shows us the cabaret room entrance in more detail, as well as the green Pizza Time Theater carpet. The last photo shows us the cabaret room, where we see that they have received the king to replace Artie Antlers at some point, though here he's been removed, with a TV in his place. The last ad we get of this location comes from October 11th, 1991, which advertises all-you-can-eat pizza. In late 1991, Ogden would close, as the franchisee didn't want to pay the franchise fee, making this the last location to have a shelf stage, technically at least. Lake Forest had a modified shelf stage, so it wasn't really the same thing, which is why I at least consider Ogden to be the last. Anyways, the franchise would be rebranded to Carnival Pizza. This rebrand would keep all aspects of Chuck E. Cheese, minus the Chuck E. Cheese branding. We have some photos from some point after closure, though I'm not sure if these are from after the Pizza Time Theater closed or after Carnival Pizza closed. Speaking of which, Carnival Pizza would close in 1994, and the building would become a wholesaler called Shaver Mart, which it stayed as until 2007, where it would become a flea market. By 2012, it became Paris Cafe, and photos from this era tell us that the interior from the Pizza Time Theater days stayed mostly intact. This would close in 2014. As of June of 2025, the building is vacant, and it's unknown what will happen to the building. As for the bots, it's unknown what happened to them. The 4425 State Street location, located in Murray, Utah, opened on March 17, 1983 as a Showbiz pizza place, opening with the classic Rock-afire explosion. We have an article on the location a week after its opening, giving us some details about the store during this time. This includes the fact that they had 70 games upon opening, as well as the fact that it employed 75 people. It seated 475 people, which is possible due to the fact that this location was 14,000 square feet in size, which is on the larger side for a location. We also get the info that this was a franchise store, under Family Entertainment Developers of Denver. Finally, we get a photo of their center stage, and although it's a bit tricky to see, you can make out the characters, all with their usual standardized looks. We get our first piece of footage of the store from 1986, where we get to see some of the games, some of the rides, the ball pit area, and the stage, which, from what we get, looks to be in good shape, with no issues I can see here. Notably, the center stage's backdrop around the Rock-afire sign is missing, but even more notable is stage right, which housed the Statue of Liberty, which would be used in July in order to celebrate the 4th of July. We also get to see their Billy Bob walk around, being the CEI one. 1988 footage gives us a look at mostly the same things, though we also get to see some of the counter areas this time as well. We also get to see their stage again, which is still in the same good shape it was as before. We also see that they received the Showbiz Pizza Campground upgrade by this point. We have an exterior shot from 1988 that gives us a good look at their exterior, and while it has standardized aspects such as these rounded letters for the main part of the exterior, it also has signage on both sides of it, all behind a pink background with orange and yellow trim as well. It all combines to make not only a unique exterior, but one that looks pretty cool as well. We have a couple of photos from the showroom from 1989, where we get a good look at the stage, starting with Rolf and Earl. Then we move to center stage, and then finally we move to see a bit of Billy Bob's stage. What's strange is that the flooring here isn't carpet, but instead this wooden tiling, which I've never seen in a location before. Footage from 1990 shows us the stage, and it may just be the programming, but Duke's arms appear to have a couple of movements out, with the elbows not moving in this footage. Otherwise, it appears to still be in good shape. Beginning in 1990, due to a fallout between Creative Engineering and Showbiz Pizza Time Inc., concept unification occurred, in which every Showbiz Pizza place would convert the Rock-afire Explosion Band into Munch's Make Believe Band. Murray would receive it by July of 1991, which we can see based on this snippet from an article, which tells us that they had received it. 1991 footage also confirms, based on these booths, that the location probably received the 1986 remodel around the same time, receiving a Chuck E. Cheese's pizza exterior, painting all of the walls white, adding colored checkers, and replacing older decor with newer decor. This footage also shows us a bit of the rides again, and a bit of the games again, the ball pit, and their stage, now a 3-stage, which of course is in great shape, with no issues I can see here. 1993 footage gives us a better look at the bots, where they don't look to be in as good of shape as before, with Pasquale notably not moving as much here. We also get a closer look at the parody posters in the showroom. Interestingly enough, they kept the wooden paneling on the sides of the stage from the Showbiz era, which is always a cool thing to see, since only a handful really did it. The only thing we see outside of the showroom is a ball pit, a different one from the last piece of footage. 1994 footage shows off the showroom again, where the bots look to be in good shape again, with no issues I can see here. We also get a look at their balcony seating in this footage, which is on the left side of the showroom rather than the back. 1995 footage doesn't show much, with it only showing us that they still had the 1986 remodel at this point, as can be seen by the parody posters. We also have this undated photo, where we could see part of the 3-stage with Chuck, and also their Chuck walk-around, being the 90s head in full tux attire. Between June and July of 1997, Murray would close, with the reason being unknown. They held an auction for the location's contents on August 7th, 1997. As of June 2025, the building holds a Paradise Buffet, and they even kept the road sign, just with their own logo on it now. Interestingly, the sign can rotate, which is not something I've ever seen one of these road signs do, and it makes it one of the most unique I've seen. As for the bots, it's unknown what happened to them. In conclusion, Ogden was a fun store to go over, with it likely being one of the last true Pizza Time theaters, as it never remodeled throughout its time being open. Being the last true shelf stage was also quite notable. Murray was also a fun store to go over, with its more unique layout, not to mention its cool exterior and road sign. Overall, both Ogden and Murray were nice stores to go over. Thank you guys for watching this video. Ogden wasn't quite as cool as I expected, but still notable, while Murray was actually more notable than I expected, so both were surprises to me in their own ways. My next video will be going over the history of Chuck E. Cheese in Irving, Texas, which I believe is most notable for being one of a few stores that the company would use to test certain concepts, so this will definitely be a fun one to go over. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're notified when it drops. If you want to find me elsewhere, I've got a Discord server and Instagram page, both linked in the description down below. That's going to do it for now, so God bless, and I hope you all have a blessed day.